Hello. Oh no, we are on. Sorry, apologies there. We are back. I think the stream just had a little moment with getting it back, taking the unpause off there. No, we are back live. Sorry. Yep. Apologies for that. I just had to look at something in the Discord quickly. So yeah, we'll get back to the qualifying now anyway, as we can see some of the banker laps that are coming down. We've got Cloud. We saw, I think at the start, didn't we, have that little moment of turn two. So he's currently back out on an outlet. And then LR, who is still in the pit. He's having a couple of issues with joining. I think LR is okay. He's still saying pit. And he hasn't said he's not in yet. So yeah, it's just LR who's had a little bit of difficulty with connecting. So hopefully he's managed to sort that, and we'll see him come out soon. As now we've just seen one of our other drivers arrive. Wins goated. So just waiting on one more. Hopefully. So I'm going to go on with Devil, as he's going to be our next man to start a timed lap, and we're coming up to the 10-minute mark. So relatively quick lap around Brazil. So should be able to get 3 decent runs in, and we're doing the lobby reset, as these guys are aware of. Obviously they don't need to worry about saving the tyres too much, because they'll get a fresh set anyway on the lobby reset for the race, so they can use all the compounds to their maximum usage. So yeah, like I say, with it being a relatively short lap, they should be able to get 3 runs in if needs be. So we're currently still here with Devil coming through the middle sector now. Difficult corner to take, that one. The back end wants to step out as you're coming off of the brakes and turning in. But it looks relatively planted off of Red Devil. It looks to be a decent enough exit around the final corner. He's now on his run down to the start line. As he comes across the line, and he goes with a 106.9, which is enough to put him up in excuse me, third at the moment. So the current pole is from Cloud is not too much further ahead as it stands. Devil will be pretty happy with that lap. You see we're the top 5 all within that 10th mark, 2/10 mark from pretty much 106.8 down to the 107 as we've seen Cloud retire. So that's going to be his qualifying finished with for this one. I think LR is having difficulty getting control of his car, unfortunately, for qualifying. So, hello, we are raining. Yeah, as I was saying, unfortunately, so he's not going to be able to get a time down. So that makes sense now as why, well, makes a little bit more sense as to why we've seen Cloud retire. He knows that the chance of any improvement is almost next to none now, depending on what happens with this rain. I'd imagine the rain's probably in for the rest of qualifying, as we can see Wynn's really struggling to keep the car on the track on these softs. So the track getting very greasy pretty quick, as I only noticed the rain, say a lap ago as Wynn's was starting that lap. So yeah, it's got pretty greasy pretty quick by the looks of how Wynn's was struggling to keep the control of the car coming through the out of sector 2 into sector 3. So I think time-wise, that's going to probably be this qualifying over and done with, as there won't be no improvement with the conditions. Why we just got a little quiet moment, though, I will say anyone that's watching, if not already in the server, is interested as we go on to the next game of F1 25, interested in joining our league and getting in on some of the action, either here on the AM, and we have the EU as well, but AM, obviously is the one we're here with tonight. So I'll quickly bear with me 1 second. I will put the link into the chat for our server. It'll be our 4th season that we start on F1 25. The days will currently be different to what we're on at the moment. American, bear with me, I'm just having a look, make sure I get it right. Yeah, America will be, it still says Monday 9 PM EST, so as it stands, they'll be at the same time as we're racing currently. But yeah, check the Discord out, obviously as we're going on to the new game, is that we're going into that zone of the unknown again, as none of us know how we're going to deal with it. But nonetheless, excited for it. I gotta say, I am pretty excited for it. I'm loving these LiDAR tracks. They look really nice, and I'm quite intrigued on seeing how they feel. So yeah, we've got a couple of minutes. Everybody's now finishing it off. And there we go, that would be our qualifying done and dusted with the current conditions. With that rain coming in, so we have Cloud, who's taken the pole on the dries at the start with that 106.8, but tight for the next cars down with Zyros with 106.9, Red Devil 106.9.5, and then we've got Supply Raptor 106.96, and then Llama 107.2s. That's where we go into 107s. So the weather for the race is still an uncertainty. With the reset, we don't know what that's going to be, but this one looks a bit better than what they had in qualifying. Just less clouds, so it doesn't look like they have. They would have had the threat that was there in the qualifying. It's not as overcast. Yeah, hopefully everybody retires from this one pretty quickly. So I think everybody is on board with the procedure, so it shouldn't be a case of needing to chase anyone. Yeah, so ignore the carnage. It's not how they race. It's just, you know, retiring from this one so we can get back into the lobby and get the reset done. So, some people decide to drive and crash out that way and make a bit of fun of it, or you can just press start and retire if that's what you want to do. But really hoping these guys retire, though. LR wants another invite, so that means this car's under AI. Yeah, so that should do it. Yeah, so this it shouldn't take too long. It's just a couple of settings to change when we get back in the lobby. Set the grid to how it was in qualifying, and then we can get underway. Skip all of this bit. So yeah, there will be. I don't think the other person is that we were meant to have is going to join. So I think this race will have 9 to start. I think got LR struggling at the moment, so we need to try and get him back in if he's in the stream. I have seen his message. I have acknowledged it. So, but if he's in the stream and can hear me, I have seen your message, and once we're back in the lobby, I shall get you that invite, as we are now. So that was LR. So there's that invite for you, sir. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, so there's the 8, and then LR 9. Yeah. Right. Onto the grid. I need to. We'll go back quickly. Come on. LR's game is not playing ball for him at the minute. Cloud who pulled it. Then Zyro. We just need LR. His game is... Let me wonder if it's anything to do with me. If I've done that, let's put that to 10 because it might. Yeah, because it's could me. Yeah, I didn't do the mouse right check. Come on. Third time is a charm. I think LR is not going to be able to make it. I hope he can. He said he's just going to restart the game quickly. Limit to 9, not 10. I thought so. He's just going to restart his game, so we'll give him a minute, quick, another minute, and then yeah, unfortunately we'll have to get going at that point. All set. Right, let's try him again. I thought there could have been that. Right. Try again now, sir. Come on. Right, so we are ready to get going. And I usually give them a minute to 2 minutes on the grid once we load back in. So he just skewed. Oh yes, that's a very good point. Now LR is in. Apologies, everybody. Ready up again, please. Right, that should now be us all set. LR's back in the right spot. Oh, and this time round, we are raining and not lightly either. It's coming down fairly quickly. So yeah, I wonder if this is set. It's quite bright still, though. I mean, it's bright on my on my screen. In that sky, it's not like it's a dark. I don't know how much the game picks it up. You know how much they make it darker for every rain, but I haven't paid that much attention to it. But going off that, it looks bright. I wonder if it's going to brighten up a bit more towards the end. That's my ambition there. But yeah, we're raining nonetheless to begin with. So that should make for some entertainment, at least on the start. I'm not saying that in the dry it wouldn't be, but in the wet, even more so, obviously. Is the wet's always good at throwing a few spanners in the works. Yeah, as I was said a minute ago, they usually have a minute to 2 minutes on the grid just to reapply their setups and sort their strategies out before we get going. So I'd imagine that we're getting close to the point of readying up, and we shall hit the B pin shortly. There it is. So with that, we are here on the grid. All 5 lights are lit, holding quite a long time, and they are now underway. And looks to be a good start from Cloud, and I think Supply Raptor is dropped back a little off the side and have the best of launches there. He's definitely having a tussle with Llama around the outside of turn 3. But Zyros has got himself in front of Cloud, and now Cloud's looking to take that position back into turn 4, and a little bit of contact as they go round, but doesn't look like anybody picked up any damage. Side by side again, as Zyros is looking on the inside. Is that 5 or 6? Gets the move done into the braking zone, as now Supply Raptor's also looking ghosted inside Llama at the moment. I think Supply is having a little bit of desync there, as his car is a little bit twitchy. Cloud is still managing to hold second. Llama is now put himself in front of supply, so Cloud's next threat is... Okay, we're swapping positions everywhere here, this is crazy. Cloud's just dropped all the way back to 6th. Looks like Cloud is definitely struggling with these conditions at the moment. Let's go back on board with the guys at the front as we're side by side into turn 4 with Llama and LRFY. They're still side by side going around turn 5. No, that's 4 into 5. Yeah. These two, a little bit of contact there coming up the hill, but seems like none of them have didn't upset any of the cars too much. They both live to fight another lap, but all kinds of position changes going on here in the opening laps, and that's allowed Zyros in the other Kick Sauber to get down the road a little bit. He's now bordering that 2-second mark to his teammate. But yeah, Cloud not having the best of opening laps there. He seems to have a little moment at the end of the lap. He's dropped back, but he's now making a move back up on Red Devil and got it easily done into the braking zone of turn 1. And now he's just got to hunt down Llama in front, who's ahead. He's down the road a second and a half, and obviously with the rain at the moment, there is no DRS advantage, so it is all down to driver's skill and management with the ERS, really. That gap between Zyro and FYT is still flicking between 1.8 and 2. 2 seconds. Llama's right on the back of FY now. So I imagine he's going to look to have a go down the straight here and split these two Saubers up, and he'll become part of a McLaren Kick Sauber sandwich. We'll have a look as we're on board with him now on the run down to turn 1. He's going to... Looks like he either didn't want to try going for it then because he wasn't really gaining anything on the car ahead, even in the slipstream. Or he's just thinking long term here and just settling in. Not throwing anything, especially under the conditions, not throwing anything unnecessary and that could potentially risk his race. So... excuse me. Sensible driving, it appears, from Llama at the moment. He's not losing anything, and they are gaining now on Zyro's ahead. That's dropped down to a second and a half from that 2-second mark, and then Cloud is also closing in on that gap. He's almost bringing it under a second. Obviously, being under a second doesn't matter as much at the moment for DRS, but they still want to be getting closer. Yeah, so everybody's, as we're on lap 5 now, everybody's still reasonably bunched, even with the conditions. The line is definitely very wet still. As you can see, they're starting to dry out, like form a darker line, but the way the rain was coming down is it's not very like prominent yet. That's the word I was looking for. It's definitely not like screaming at you that there's much of a line, but they are on the inters, as you can see, so as you would expect really with the current line that there is, it's definitely not like wet. Difficult conditions nonetheless around Brazil, especially with this lot of off-camber moments, as you can see just on this straight here, how much banking there is to the left and then sloping up and down. You know, it might be called a straight, but it's near enough curved. And then you've got the bank and bumps. And then this bit here, like the whole track really, you know, they're now going downhill. And then this through all sector 2 you have uphill section, downhill section again, and then the middle sector, yeah, very difficult for wet conditions, because you're wanting to change direction, especially through here, changing direction and flick the car. The sudden flick to the left and then right, easy to get that back end to step out if you're not ready for it. Got a nice close little train here though. Nobody throwing anything yet in the current conditions, all just in that management phase as it appears. But Llama is in that kick sandwich still. And the time gap to the leader, I've just noticed, is also back to that 2-second mark, as we can see a move from Cloud on LRFY there into turn 1. So he's on the inside as they exit, which puts him on the outside of turn 2, but he gets the move done on the inside of turn 3. Lovely racing there from Cloud with LR. LR tried to defend as best as he could, but Cloud just seemed to have the better traction through that sequence of corners and just managed to keep his nose in where it needed to be. As I was just saying, that they were in that, like, looking like they were just having that little management phase. We see a lovely send into turn 1 from Cloud. Lovely voice break there from Cloud. Nobody clip that, please, if you're in. That was a bad one. I thought we were just all suppliers. Looking, just flip back here, is right on the back end of LR then, and it looked like he was having a little peek into turn 1, but couldn't quite get it done. But he's now gonna get the rundown into turn 4, and as they go round, he's got the move done nice and easy on the inside. There's a McLaren rejoining the track that Supply almost went into the side of there as they were coming out of turns 4. I've got a yellow flag at the moment. That's Ted, who's retired from the session. He has done it in the pits though, so that yellow flag is just his AI rejoining the track to then retire, as they do on this game. Even though when you retire in the pits, you know, they might as well just keep them out there. But no, we'll drive them back out just to retire them on the pit exit. But hopefully he's long gone by the time these guys are back round there, and he shouldn't cause any problems. But that gap now to the leader really opened up. We're at 3.2 seconds now here on lap 9. So Cloud is now, he's got that little bit of cleaner air in front of him, and he's not battling these guys. He can get the hammer down and start looking to see what he can do to gain any time on the car ahead and close that gap to him. As at the moment, Zyros is just, as each lap goes by, Zyro is just edging a little bit further away. I'm just going to come back onto supplies. He's looking like he's having to defend the Kicksauber of LRFY, but he's also looking for the move on the McLaren ahead. I think he must think to himself he could probably be a bit quicker, and he can see there as the McLaren went off the track again. The McLaren of Lama is definitely struggling as we see him now go to the inside. Little bit of wheel bang there, but still side by side going through turns 1 and 2. As we're going to almost get a 3 wide moment as they come out of turn 3. 4. We've got. Oh, this is getting really racy between these as we see a spinner behind Red Devils at a little moment. He hasn't picked up any damage, fortunately, so other than time, there's no major damage that, if any, that you can see on the car. So it just looks like he caught a little bit too much of the apex as he was fighting with these guys, and that just caused the car, unsettled the car a little bit and caused his back end to step out. But he's managed to save it, and he's still in the fight. He's not lost an awful amount of time, so just needs to regather himself and get back onto these guys while these guys are busy fighting each other. But Zyros is he's racing really well at the moment. You know, since the start, he managed to pull that little bit of a gap with the cars battling behind, and he's been consistent since there. He was edging away, and then since Cloud's been in second, he's been sitting at that 3 second mark, and it's only just started to sort of edge its way down. So yeah, Zyros has been putting in some really good laps at the moment. Why not? He might, while he's there in the clean air ahead, he might as well take advantage of that and just pump in the best laps he can while all the carnage is, well, not carnage as in a bad like that, but you know, like all the racing is going on behind him, which obviously when you're battling someone, you can't go as quick as you want to go around some corners, so you're always going to be that little bit slower. So yeah, he's taken advantage of that so far. But considering the conditions, I'm quite impressed and like with how like gaps have been pretty close for most part of the race that has gone by of the 12 laps that have gone by so far. Most of that, as you can see, the front two is starting to edge that little way. Obviously, we can see LR has just picked up a 3 second time penalty. He's the first one to pick one up today. That will definitely not play into his favour if it stays as tight as it is. If the race was to end now, say he's set to lose, possibly down to 6th. Well, no. Yeah. Because he would lose a position to supply, no, it would be 5th. Yeah, he'd lose 2 positions. Come on, still clocking it. It's almost 3 AM. The brain's not braining properly. As we're seeing an outside move. These two are lovely side-by-side action off of these again. I'm loving the racing with these these guys at the moment. As we see a little bit, I think that was just a little bit of a desync off of supply. As you can see, the kick wasn't impacted. I was just about to say he wasn't initially impacted by the wobble of supply, but he definitely was that time round. Yeah, supply's car, the majority of this race has been a little bit jittery. He's not normally like that, so very unusual for supply to be a little bit jittery like that, which I think is what might have just caused that little moment there, because he ghosted, which is unfortunate. Oh, excuse me again. Which is unfortunate for him, supply. So we just had a yellow flag, which was quickly gone. I think that was Wins, possibly either Win. I think it was Wins having a moment. So we're now seeing supply and Red Devil changing positions. Red Devil's in the pit. So he wants a fresh set of boots on. As we can see, the rain has stopped. And that's... Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I was just going to say that was the hard tyres for Red Devil. And his car has literally just taken my next few words that I was going to say after that out of my mouth. I was going to say, I think it may be a lap or two, possibly too early for slicks. And yeah, the pit exit and the way he struggled to slow that car, and I think that answered the question of whether it was ready for slicks yet or not. And I normally, when I race, I normally like to use the DRS enabled, depending on, obviously, if there's any other gain that anything that happens in a race that you could gain otherwise. But say, normal situation, you know, tyres were feeling okay still and everything. And I was just a matter of waiting for that crossover. Normally the indication that I'll use is the DRS enabled, which I don't know if I missed it as I was, because I'm looking between Discord and the race. Discord in the race, Twitch in the race. Just keeping an eye on the stream as we see Red Devil DNF after that little. After that kerfuffle he had trying to get out of the pit lane. Zyros is still pumping ahead on these intermediates. He's not feeling it's ready for slicks yet. I think he's just keeping an eye on the time to the car behind most likely, and just either when, I mean, he's on the same tyres, so there shouldn't be too much of a difference, but I think maybe when he starts seeing that gap coming down is when he'll start thinking, right, now I'm ready for the slicks. There's definitely, I would say it's looking like it's at the stage now it's dry enough, is there isn't any difference in coloration on the track to suggest any part of it's wet still or any reflection. So yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't see these in the either the end of this lap or end of next lap, to be fair. I mean, saying that, he's just done a purple middle sector. He will, wouldn't he, because it's dry. But even on old, hot intermediates, he's still pumping in personal bests. Well, there's a faster lap time. So, yeah, okay, ignore me. Maybe them inters are still feeling good. I can only go, I'm only going off of what I could potentially see. But they must be feeling good for wins. Wins, not Zyro. I was looking at Wins' name then. Apologise for that. for Zyros, yeah, he's not ready. He's, as we see another purple sector, so let's have a little quick look at the tyres and see if anyone is on those slicks. Yeah, okay, we do have 2 people that are now committed. Excuse me again. Sorry for all the yawns. I don't normally yawn this much. It's not the race. It's been a long day. Yeah, it's been a long day. A busy day. Yeah, the gap is. I keep looking. Cloud is still at that two. Not come under the 2-second mark again yet. So these two are pretty even on pace currently. As we're seeing Llama make a stop. I presume that would be obviously for some slicks. I mean, we're at the halfway point, so yeah, it's not quite. Still just a few too many laps to think about any sort of whether the mediums would be a decent the tire yet. 18 laps. Brazil, yeah. If I was gonna think of mediums, it would probably be between 20 to 25 lap wise. As we can see that these Zyro with that little moment, they're definitely struggling on these inters now. That's allowed that gap to close right up now as we come to the pit stop time and put Cloud right into the battle zone, shall we call it. He's in that position now that when these come back out the pits, depending on whether any of them need a wing change, which I don't think they do. So depending on how clean their timing is on the pit entries and the pit exit, these two are most likely going to come out of this pit and be fighting like straight at it, as Cloud has managed to get ahead of Zyros during that pit stop. Oh, as we've got a slow Red Bull coming out the pit lane. That's AI again. That's not Wins' fault. I don't know why on some tracks the game, when you go in the pit to retire, the game still brings your car back out onto the track under AI for some reason, where majority of tracks it will usually go in the pit and stay in the pit. But yeah, with losing Wins there, that puts us down to 5 on this one, remaining now for the rest of this race. As I was saying at the start, there was a few people that couldn't make it this week, so yeah, this is we normally have a good 15 or more. This is a very rare occasion, so occurrence. Not occasion, very rare occurrence, and yeah, just looking at the gaps, the closest gaps is these two at the front, so the battle is on for the win. As shall we say, is if I just have a quick little look. Drivers' Championship, yeah. Cloud is our first ever here in OTLR AM1 champion. He is already being crowned, and Zyros is the guy behind him on. So there you go. These two showing why they're both Well, Cloud showing obviously why he's won the championship this season, and then Zyro's in the kick is currently second place in the championship, and then Red Devil was his closest man in third, and obviously Red Devil had that moment and has retired, so I believe he won't pick up any points because he didn't. Yeah, brain's not braining again. But yeah, Zyros and Cloud. So Cloud, obviously, like I say, Cloud's this championship wise, Cloud's already got it, and Zyros is second. So it's more obviously Zyros on his battling with anyone else in the championship, and then for Cloud, he's in that position now. He wants the bragging rights. He's already got the champion, and now it's, well, still got to show why he is. But it's making good racing. It's making good racing either way. Like, we had that good battle with was it LR and Supply a few laps back, and then now these two, the DRS. There's two zones around Brazil. The first one, obviously the main straight, and then the other DRS is after turn 3 on the run down to turn 4. So it's fairly strong on this track as well, especially when you're in the slipstream. It's just the way it is on this this F124 game. The DRS is very, very powerful. As you'll see, we'll see that now. As I imagine these two are just going to keep exchanging positions as we see that wing open on Cloud, and then just look how the gap between him and Zyros just closes. The DRS, I mean, you have got obviously battery charge, recharge, and that to play as well, but no, the DRS is very strong, as now we'll see it come into play again on the lovely helicopter shot. Oh, it was Cloud was well within his right to move over when he did. I'm not sure if he was, you call the move over a little bit late, but Zyros sort of didn't. He wasn't going that way, committing to that way. So it wasn't like it was a block. It was more like Cloud was putting his car into the middle of the track, like ready to defend, and then Zyros just didn't commit. Wasn't wanting to commit to the attack at that point. So it made it look a little bit like Cloud blocked, but no, I don't think that. From how that looked, it looked more like Zyros didn't go for the move more than Cloud blocking him. But who knows? I'm not the one down there on the racetrack. So we've got 12 laps. Yeah, 12 laps remaining. And these two are on each other's diffuser. And Supply is on the diffuser of Llama. So Supply has really put his foot back down after that. I think it was a desync moment he had. It is what it appeared. Like, his car ghosted and seems to like stutter back a bit, but he's come back forwards as we've got these two battling. We've got these two battling. These two are now side by side round the second to last corner, and we're going round the final corner here now. But yeah, the fights are on. Looks like Zyro's going to stay behind this time round and wait for the next DRS zone, as we see Supply Raptor swap positions with HDR Llama going into turn 1. But that would give Llama the DRS for the run down to turn 4. Go back, and these two are now side by side going into turn 4, and Zyros manages to get himself ahead just before the corner and claim that corner. He'll be ahead as they go through the middle sector. And then Supply Raptor's got in front of Llama, and it looks like he is on the hunt, as I was saying, that he's on the mediums here. And as I was saying a couple of laps before, where I said I'll probably stop between 20 to 25 for mediums, where them guys stopped on lap 18 for hards, and it was difficult for them when the race ended. Rain ended, with trying to drag them intes out as long as they could. But as you can see, they would have struggled taking them intes any further than they did. So they had to go with the hard tyre option, really, from how many laps they had left, as the mediums would have massively struggled for them to get to the end, I think. But Supply has managed to get himself some mediums on, and also LRFY, see cloud mediums. I thought I saw hard. Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused myself. The rest of these guys are all on mediums, aren't they? It was Red Devil on the hards. Ignore anything I just said. No, it was Red Devil who tried the hards, wasn't it? He tried the hards at the start, when the rain, not long after the rain ended, and they didn't work. That's where I was getting confused, as I've just seen all of these have got yellow stripes on the side of their tires. So, but oh no, I did see somebody with hards. Llama, hey, I wasn't seeing things. Okay, that makes me feel better now. I wasn't seeing things. I definitely did see a white stripe on the side of a tyre. We'll go back on board with these guys now. We've got less than 10 remaining laps, lap-wise. These two are still just swapping positions. So these two carry on the way that they are. It'd be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see who, obviously, manages to hold out for the win, and then Supply is only 4 seconds behind. And if these two do start battling hard, then Supply and Llama behind could potentially capitalize on that and use that to their advantage. But these two seem to be racing very smart and just taking it in turns, really, with the DRS, not doing anything. As we saw them getting really close with wheels a couple laps ago, they seem like they've settled down a little bit now, and they're just sort of trying to not battle with each other too hard to lose out too much to the car behind, I think. So simple battling for now is one way to put it. You can't really call it battling, can you? Yeah, you get the idea. Like they're racing very smart, and not doing anything reckless to potentially hamper them. As we see a moment of Cloud there, he nearly completely lost the car, as it looked like it. Tank slapper, as we call it, as he was coming out the final quarter, up the hill. As they exchange positions again into turn 4. And we can see Llama and Raptor also exchanging positions behind. Llama getting himself ahead of Raptor into turn 4. So they went 2 by 2 and with 1 left out. In a non-offending way. LR had a good first stint in the race, and then since he picked up that penalty, I think he's just sort of like, you know, without DRS, it's and when you've got these guys racing the way they are, just swapping positions, take. These yawns are starting to wind me up now. I don't like yawning this much. Why am I yawning so much? Oh, come on. It's not something not right. Like, I'm not even tired, that's the thing. Like to that point. But yeah. Anyway, enough about me. I'm not important in this instance. The racing is. But yeah, LR, good first stint, and then since the penalty, it's with these guys constantly exchanging positions the way that they have been. Without DRS, is next to him, you know, pretty much impossible to try and gain any ground on the cars ahead. They sort of just keep edging away from you. As I think that's just seen LR's yellow flag. Is that LR? Where is he? Yeah, he's at a moment. He's just coming back on the track. But still, both these pairs, you know, in DRS of one another. Nobody's managed to break away from the one behind. Looking, you got Supply. He's less than, yeah, they're both under half a second. So. And then it's 5 seconds from Lama from second to third. So you see them swapping positions now on the run. Oh, he's like. Seems like Supply has some decent straight line. Obviously, he had the aid of DRS as well, but from when the position changed, to where I saw him, he was a lot further ahead than I thought he would be going into turn 1. I love the helicopter view. Such a nice view. Like, they should let you in replays select what camera you want. You know, broadcast, onboard, you know. That's where you used to be able to back in a few games ago on replays. It changed the cameras. But now, no, you must only watch it either on board or broadcast, isn't it? You can't do any like helicopter view or wing view in replay mode. Not on console, anyway. If you can on PC, then you're lucky. As I know you can save full race replays on PC, and we can't on console. We can only save highlights. Got two almost identical battles going on, really. You know, Cloud going between 0.4 to 0.6. Well, the trailing car going between 0.4 and 0.6 behind the car in front of both pairs. So I'd imagine in the next lap, though, well, 2 laps. No, next lap is when we'll start seeing the real battling, and then maybe, you know, somebody trying to get away if they've saved enough battery and stuff. Who knows? Obviously, the win is looking highly likely between Zyro or Cloud, but Supply and Llama, they're not, you know, any mistake from these two, they're not a million miles behind to gain off of that. As we're just about to start the penultimate lap here in Brazil. This is round 11 of our 12 rounds, so one more round to go after this one in Bahrain. Oh, go on. Great. Oh, great. Yeah, lovely racing off these two. Well into Zyro's. He's kept his foot. He was on the outside of turn 4 and that, but he kept his foot right there and just stayed right at the side of Cloud. And in the end, he came out on the uphill. He came out the victorious one in that battle. But we're going to see another battle now as Cloud is looking to get the move done as soon as he can down the straight. You must know Zyro's got some pretty decent straight line speed with burning battery as well. So as Zyro's was keeping up, not keeping up, but he wasn't falling back that quickly to suggest that he's not got more of a straight line speed. But yeah, anyway, we're here halfway through the last lap. And still both of them with the same distances. You got Llama to 0.2 to 0.3 behind Supply, and then you got Zyro 0.2 to 0.3 behind Cloud of these two pairs. But as we're coming around the final corner now, we're going to see which one's going to come out victorious between these two. Does Cloud have enough battery and straight line speed to defend? Or has Zyro saved enough with the little helping of the wing? It doesn't look like it. It looks like Cloud's got enough in the tank to get it done, and he does get it done by 0.2 of a second to Zyro's, and Llama's gonna, just gonna flick onto them. We just missed that. Llama and Raptor on the line. Llama. Wish I could have got onto that quick enough. Why can't I just 1, 2, 3 that person instead of flick, flick, flick? Llama getting Supply Raptor on the line as Llama was behind on the rundown. So yeah, 0.068. That is at them speeds. That is a whisker on the front of you, a whisker on the end of your front wing difference. Like that is marginal. They were pretty much neck and neck across that line. Photo finish from them two. And yeah, that will conclude round 11 here in Brazil for AM1. So round 12 is next week for the finale. Then after that round, we then wait for the newly anticipated F125 to then look at our next season, season 4. So yeah, the AM to 9 p.m. EST on Monday. They'll be back to finish off in Bahrain next Monday, and then before that we have our EU tier, which will be Wednesday at 7 p.m. here on Twitch. Wednesday 7 p.m. UK time, not Eastern Standard Time. That will be, if I do my maths correctly, that'll be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's yeah, we're 5 hours ahead here in the UK. Yeah, so yeah, 7 p.m. This Wednesday. Why is it just on that? I could not. I needed to get a picture of the results, and it just skipped like that. So I'm gonna have to go back in the stream. Oh well. I can deal with that. But yeah. Final round. So EU will do Brazil here. Brazil at 7 p.m. Wednesday, and then we get into the final round of AM next Monday, and then obviously the following Wednesday will be the final round for EU then, and that will finish us off here on F124, which is, it's been us here at OTLR. It's our first game cycle. It's our third season. We managed to get 3 seasons in on this game, and what a game cycle it has been, and to say the least. And we hope to continue growing, and keep pushing to get more drivers in. You're always happy to have more drivers, so more the merrier. So yeah, my phone has died unfortunately, so I can't do the link in the Twitch. So I haven't got my charger with me. The missus has stolen that and taken it upstairs. Right. So yeah, with that, I shall sign this one off. Yeah, pretty decent race considering the slightly lower turnout. Rare occasion, like occasion, like I say, it's never been that low before. It's a one-off, but enough of that. There was plenty of racing still, plenty of action, plenty of overtaking, still some nice battling, some nice side-by-side action, things we like to see. So yeah, for the guys that did turn up, thank you very much. And for anyone else that is interested, I can't do it because my phone's dead, so apologies, but !Discord in the Twitch chat will bring the link up to our server. Get yourselves in our server, check us out. And like I say, we have American tiers on a Monday, EU on a Wednesday, so near enough everyone and anyone's welcome. So get yourselves in, and I shall see you when I come back on Wednesday with EU2. So thank you very much, and see you next time.